Hey guys, Gary Cardone here. March 6, 2024. We have Bitcoin back up at 67 after a $10,000 candle yesterday down. We breached the all-time high. By the way, when you breach the all-time high, it does not have to close that day. You have breached the all-time high. We breached the all-time high on price. We also breached the all-time market cap high for Bitcoin. Today, Bitcoin's moved 5.25%, and Ethereum's up about 7%. So Ethereum is now outpacing Bitcoin. How long that will last is a great question. I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate on it. I'm myself asking questions about my next deployment. Where do I deploy? Do I deploy into Bitcoin? Do I deploy into the ETF? Do I switch up and maybe chase the Ethereum or a Solana? I'm actually doing a survey right now to get your opinion on if you found $250,000 under your pillow or this morning, how would you deploy those funds? Would you ape in on Bitcoin, believe in this pre-halving event, ETF event, then the post-halving event, then the Ethereum ETF, which I think most certainly will get approved at some point in the next, say, 12 months. I must say, I've been doing business for 45 years. I have never seen a business, an industry like this. It is a very intellectually so stimulating, so really interesting, this industry. For me to consider deploying these funds into another real estate play makes very little sense to me. In fact, there's no assets here that I can look at, whether they're in equities, bonds, private equity. I think Bitcoin actually is a private equity play. I'm really starting to think of Bitcoin as both a currency play. By currency, I mean this is a new currency. Like, I just cannot find a comparable asset to deploy capital into for 2 to 7, 8 years that I'm very comfortable will have not only a really safe return, but a astronomically risk-adjusted return for the what I consider to be a very conservative play here. I just do not see how this supply and demand thesis doesn't work out to much higher prices. And price is very important here. I know some of the Bitcoiners don't think price is really important, but price for the institutions and for adopting, the higher we go, the safer Bitcoin gets. So this is a really cool thesis, right? Like, Bitcoin gets stronger as the price goes up, and you and I as investors get stronger as the price goes up. So I feel bad for people that have missed this window, have overthought this opportunity, have not deployed, or thought that they were gonna get a pullback at 48, 42. I mean, there's still people saying that there's going to be a downward cycle at some point post-halving into the 40s, 45, 42, I've heard. Quite frankly, I'm not sure I'm that patient to wait. But that's a $25,000 move from here down. $25,000 move. If you were deploying, let's call it a couple $1 million, I mean, you're talking about the difference between 40 Bitcoin and 52 to 55 Bitcoin. So this is going to be a real challenge for me. This money happened to show up when the market's peaking out. And so do I chase it? Do I wait? Do I sit on my hands and expect this 30, 40% correction that's happened over and over again with Bitcoin? I think it will continue, by the way. In fact, I think we'll see, the higher it goes, the more volatility we will have. Seems kind of simple when you put it that way, but the higher we go, the more volatility we will have. Well, the ETF is relentless. I think that I was listening to something this morning, people talking about the RIAs. The RIAs aren't even here yet. I mean, this money is not the big money. I would bet that over the next 3 or 4 months, when the RIAs start to actually move, which I think that's going to require 3 months, maybe 4. First off, I think all the money that's being deployed right now through the ETFs, the families themselves, very few know that they have been allocated Bitcoin. These are advisors who are making decisions. Where did I hear yesterday that this morning, a Stanford is allocated, Stanford University, okay? The guys that compete with Duke and Harvard and Brown, they are deploying 7% of their pension into Bitcoin. Stanford, okay? This is Stanford University. Some of the biggest brains in the world come out. What happens when Harvard does it, and Duke, and North Carolina, Okay, like then the pensions for states, either California or some pension has gotten approval, a state pension has gotten approval to put their pensioners into Bitcoin ETF. That happened today. I mean, if we see this where cities and states begin putting Bitcoin into their treasury, oh my God, we're talking about sovereigns doing it. Like what happens when the states start to do it? When they understand that there's an opportunity for them to increase their treasury with a small 7, 5, 8% investment. Oh, by the way, just 3 months ago, we were talking about 1 or 2% allocations. Stanford is allocating 7%. We are so far off on the demand. I think expectations for the demand on this product, I think it boggles the human mind. And again, I just want to repeat because I think it's very, very difficult for us to understand this. Humans have never, ever seen a finite product. I've been around for a while and it's just dawned on me that I have never truly experienced a finite product that I could buy. Never in my life. If you think of one, let me know. The only other one I can think of is Ryan here is holding this camera. Ryan is a unique, one of a kind, never gonna be replicated, never gonna be another one. The difference in Ryan is that he has a finite lifespan. Bitcoin will be forever. This is why I compare it to the woman who never decays. She never complains. She's always there. She's always increasing in value. A little volatile, but over 12-year lifespan, you're looking at 3,000 X's in the value of this entity. So that's 15-year experience. Why would we think we were going to have a different event, a different momentum move when the largest money on planet Earth comes chasing finite product that humanity has never, ever seen before? Tell me why the price goes down under that scenario. Impossible for me to understand that, okay? Impossible for me to understand how anybody could be bearish on this product. It's staggering to me. So without more hyperbole, I'd like you to subscribe to this channel, retweet it, re-YouTube it, do whatever you need to do to get the message out. Bitcoin is a beast. And I am so fortunate, I'm grateful that I found the opportunity and spent the last 4 or 5 years studying this industry. It is the most exciting industry I've ever been into, and it is going to employ millions of people. So if you're looking for a career and you don't have a bunch of money to invest in Bitcoin, invest what you can into Bitcoin, and then take your intelligence and deploy it into this industry. Find somebody you can go to work for, like me, that's really, really saturating themselves in this industry and become a part of the baseline industry that's being created today. It's going to create millions of jobs and opportunities and tremendous amount of wealth transfer for those of us who heard about it and we had the understanding and the ability to pull the trigger. So to all you guys that had the guts to pull the trigger, congrats. For you guys that were sitting on the sidelines, might want to take a little time and rewrite what's wrong with your thesis. Maybe your thesis isn't wrong and we're wrong, but I would recheck your thesis because Bitcoin's at $67,000 today. And I think by the end of the week, we're at 72. So we're Wednesday, March 6th. Gary Cardone says by Sunday, we're at 72, or we at least test 72, and we could just explode right beyond that. So congrats, everybody. Be safe. Treat this like the greatest opportunity of your life, and you will do extremely well.